I must thank AIOS for giving me the opportunity, and especially Sudipta for including me in this update. Now, Dr. Arup Bose has brilliantly explained everything, every details of how to manage a hard cataract. But these hard cataracts sometimes pose different problems or when the pupil are very small. Now, we have to find out whether we can manage the cataract without using any uh, pupil expanders. In this case, you could see that it is moderately dilated, and we try to do it without using any pupil expanders. Now, as Dr. Bose has said, we have to make it the rhexis slightly larger, around 5.5 millimeter, and so that there is the maneuvering of the nucleus is easier and there is much less stress on the zonules. And you have to complete the rhexis in a very classical manner that try to avoid any runaway rhexis, because the managing a hard cataract with runaway rhexis are much more difficult. Now, in this case, the same patients, we have to think that whether we can manage this, because these people have a tendency to become floppy and become small during the phacoemulsification process. Now, if it becomes small, then we have always the option to put in the iris hooks or whatever methods of pupil dilating the pupil we are comfortable with. And I normally do a stop and chop, and the pupil size should be such that you must be able to see up to the margin of the rhexis, and so that you don't injure the rhexis margin. And this is very important, because otherwise the chances of a runaway rhexis or the nucleus being dropped are much higher. Now you take out one by one pieces, and you can see I am using around a vacuum of around 400, 450. And as he has said, that the power is moderate. Depending on the hardness of the cataract, you can increase your power. And you take out the small pieces which are behind the iris, and do it very carefully so that you don't injure the capsule. Now it's well removed, and there was no need for any assistance. Now, what are the pupil expanders? These are the instruments which which helps in dilating the pupil. There has to be certain factors which one must consider. One is the easy to insert. There should not be a much learning curve. They should be soft and malleable, does not crowd the anterior chamber. They stabilize the iris well and expands the pupil to a comfortable size, and most important, should be inexpensive. There are many types. It all depends which you can choose anyone with which you are comfortable with. This is the small, you can see it's a very small pupil, and I am putting the trypan blue, staining it and putting behind the iris, so that when I'm using iris hooks or any other material, I would be able to see the peripheral part of the rhexis, the capsule. The rhexis, as usual, should be slightly bigger in size. It's around 5, I think it's around 5.5, and it should be circular. That is very important. Now, this is a Morcha ring. I have used some of the rings in quite few years back. They are not very difficult to insert. The problem is that they crowd the anterior chamber too much. And this video has been taken from the internet. This is not my video. And you can see it is easy to, it's not very difficult to insert, but the crowding of the anterior chamber makes things very difficult. You have to hook the on the iris. There is a rim on the sides, and the pupil is moderately dilated and it's fixed. This is a Malyogen ring. Malyogen ring has got it's a rectangle. It's a squarish in shape, and it has got 4 loops. The leading loop has gone, and it has the iris is being captured. The side hooks are also well captured. Now with the side port instrument, you remove it from the hook of the introducer, and with the iris hook, you have to put it behind the and rotate it so that it stabilizes and the pupil is very regular. After doing the phaco, you put on the lens, and under visco, you have to remove the Malyogen ring. It is pretty easier to remove. I think introduction is slightly difficult, easier to remove. You have to, there is a hook in the introducer that has to capture the loops of the Malyogen ring. You have to hold it and then slowly withdraw it. You have to position it, yes, and then slowly withdraw it so that it comes out without injuring the iris at all, and you get a very good shape of the pupil. Now BHEX ring is becoming very popular. This is a short report I got from Dr. Bhattacharya, who has developed this BHEX, and it's his video. There is a slight learning curve for it, but if you follow all the proper method of using it, it is not very difficult to do it. Now, this is a case of a mature cataract, and the pupil is relatively small. I'm using iris hook in this case. The problem with iris hooks is that it gives a good exposure, but the iris many times are destroyed, the sphincters, and have a very irregular irregular pupil after the surgery. It's the usual one. You chop the nucleus into small pieces, and since this is relatively large and the cataract is not very hard, it's matured, but it's not very hard. So the most important part in doing a phaco in a small pupil with a hard cataract is a proper exposure. Now, this is a patient who had 2 TRABs done, and as a hypermetro, his biometry IOL power calculation is 36 diopters. And I have used iris hooks and made a relatively large rhexis. But the point is that I have to be very careful because the anterior chamber depth is very slow, very small. The chances of damaging the posterior capsule as well as the cornea is there. So I have to be very careful, do it very slowly, make small pieces, maybe 6 or 8 pieces, and chop up to the posterior plate as much as possible. And in between the surgery, at least try to introduce dispersive viscoelastic so as to protect the cornea. And the whole process has to be very slow.
Sorry to interrupt, sir. The time is up. You need to conclude the presentation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Arup Chakraborty, sir. That was an excellent presentation with so much of difficulties, overcoming so much of problems, still a successful surgery. As I said, this is very gratifying for the surgeon once you do these type of difficult cataracts. I would like to ask you just one question before we go to our next speaker. Sir, you have shown us lots of pupil expanders. Lots means specific ones like Malouin ring, the hooks. You have shown us BHEX. So is there a preference for a particular pupil expander in a particular case, say for a hook? Would you prefer a hook in particular case or a Malouin ring for a particular case? Is there
if the pupil is very small, and if there is a posterior synechia, then it is better to use iris hooks. But if the pupil is moderately dilated, moderately small, I mean, it's not very small, then you can go for BHEX or Malouin ring. That's what I prefer.
Sir, is there also something like the tonicity of the pupil? Because if the tonicity of the pupil is not sufficient, then maybe the BHEX actually does not work when the
That's what I'm saying. The pupil is very small. I personally have not tried, but I have seen
not only small, but it is not very easy to dilate. So then maybe we can use Y pushers or any other instrument to slightly push it and then introduce a BHEX. Or maybe the ideal technique for it is the hooks, as you have shown. And one more question. Ideally, we've seen, or even myself, I sometimes use more than 4 hooks, 5 hooks. So what is the ideal number of hooks that is, this is
normally
for people who start hooks.
Yeah, normally
people who are starting with hooks.
Sorry.
Yes, sir.
Normally
yes,
I use 4 hooks, but if sometimes actually the packet has got 5 hooks, so you always have the option of using one more hook. So you have to, if you think that it requires the another hook, which normally I think the side port which I make, that area I use a hook and then place my side port slightly towards the main wound. So that's why you can get, basically you have to have a very good exposure. Whether you use 3, 4 or 5, that it all depends on the surgery, on the case.
So for the take-home messages, you can use as many as you. There is no strict rule that or a guideline that you have to use 5 or 4. So basically it's that. And any message you want to give us about the particular OVD that you would like to use when you're using any pupil expander?
I always use in this case, expanders, no, I don't especially, if the pupil is small, there is no need to use, that's the basic thing. But hard cataract and you have a shallow AC, but in hard cataract, you must use a dispersive dispersion.
Okay, thank you, sir. I think there's a bit of a net problem with sir. So I will invite our next speaker, Dr. Somnath Prasad, sir, to move on with his presentation. Sir, are you ready?
Time for another question to Dr. Chakraborty, or do
yes, sir. Yes, sir. No. Go ahead. Go ahead, please. Yes, go ahead.
Arupda, promise me you'll still be friends after this. But say, you started with a 5.5 millimeter pupil. Think I'll get away without devices, and the iris starts flopping and becomes smaller. At that point, do you want to go in for a ring or for hooks? Whichever ring.
Sir, unmute कीजिए sir.
I think you need to unmute yourself.
Sir, unmute कीजिए.
Arupda.
Arupda, please unmute.
Very sorry. Actually, you need to see whether I am comfortable with the hooks. I can use the hooks whenever I want to. But the thing is that with the ring, if the anterior capsule is visible, the rhexis margin is visible, you can do the rings. Rings are not an issue at all. But only problem with the hooks is that hooks damages the pupil very much. And you aesthetically, the pupil looks bad in many cases. So to avoid that, rings are better. But you can use the rings even if the pupil is becomes small in the middle of the surgery.
Aurukda, I'll just slightly differ. I normally prefer hooks in a situation like that, and I'll tell you why. Small pupil, hard cataract, or the pupil is getting small, it might start showing some zonular dehiscence, something. If I have hooks, I can move the hook to support the rhexis. I can't do that with a ring. So I'm just thinking somehow I have to finish this surgery. The pupil might not look very good later on. We'll worry about that later.
It's a very good point.
If you can make out that something is wrong, there is a problem with these zonules, and that you can make out during the surgery. And if you think the pupil has become very small, then it is better you go for hooks.
One more thing, since you are both very accomplished surgeons, with my experience, what I feel is when you have these hooks are really not good when there is a floppy iris, but in a IFIS, which actually Shomda wants to mean, in a IFIS, there is a shallow AC as well. So introduction of this BHEX is much better. And if we can keep the turbulence slightly less, then even they do good work when we introduce rings instead of hooks. This is my personal experience. Of course, you're much more versatile surgeons.
Absolutely.
So this is just putting in a point that it also helps. Thank you so much for your input.